Hey friends, I don't know if you remember, but a few months ago, we talked about Juana Barraza, the woman in Mexico who was known as the Little Old Lady Killer or La Mata Viejitas. Do you remember? She's the one who gained the trust of elderly women, entered their homes, and left a trail of death across Mexico City. Well, today, we're traveling thousands of miles away to Russia, where another woman was targeting the same vulnerable victims. Her name was Irina Gaidamachuk, and just like Juana Barraza, she preyed on elderly women living alone. While Juana Barraza became one of Mexico's most notorious female serial killers, Irina Gaidamachuk would go on to become one of Russia's most prolific serial killers. How did a woman become responsible for the deaths of so many elderly victims that they nicknamed her Satan in a Skirt? I'm Tika, and this is Cold-Blooded Serial. Let's dive in. In August 2022, Irina Gaidamachuk celebrated her 51st birthday behind bars because she was convicted of 17 murders and 1 attempted murder, and she was eventually sentenced to 25 years in prison before the judge was kind enough to reduce it down to 20. So, who is this woman that society nicknamed Satan in the Skirt? Let's find out. Irina Gaidamachuk was born in Nizhny, a town in northwestern Russia that was part of the Soviet Union at the time. And according to reports, she grew up in a troubled home where both of her parents struggled with alcohol abuse. By the time Irina reached her teenage years, she began abusing alcohol. And before long, vodka had become a daily part of her life. One day, Irina was like, you know what? Listen, I need a fresh start. I need to go somewhere where nobody knows me. And she moved to the town of Krasnoyarsk, which was only a 24-hour train ride from her hometown of Nyagin. It was in this new town that Irina's life would take a horrifying turn. But at first, everything seemed good. She married a man named Yuri, and together they had 2 beautiful children. But behind the appearance of a normal family life, something far more sinister was unfolding. It was in the town of Krasnoyarsk that Irina began her 8-year killing spree. Yes, friends, 8 years before she was caught, okay? And friends, I know addiction can have an incredibly powerful grip on a person's life. But in Irina's case, her dependence on vodka became so overwhelming that it ultimately drove her to kill. Like, that is absolutely insane. Yeah, like she loved vodka so much that she thought it was worth taking the life or lives of others. When Yuri was finally interviewed after Irina was caught, he admitted that he never suspected that his wife was capable of murder. He said that he knew that she struggled with alcohol and it had become a constant source of tension in their marriage. In an effort to curb her drinking, he stopped giving Irina access to cash because he feared that she would spend all of their money on vodka. But she took that as like, you know what? Like, you're not going to give me money. I'm just going to go off this old lady, get some cash, and buy my drink of choice. When Yuri and Irina first married, she appeared to be the picture of a devoted wife and mother. She didn't have a job outside of the home, but she did care for their daughter. She kept the house spotless. She cooked dinner every night and was even active on the school's parents' committee, I guess like the PTA. At first, for years, everything was going good. However, by the time their daughter reached the 4th grade, that image of a devoted wife and mother began to unravel. Irina started drinking heavily again. And during one binge, she reportedly spent money that she had collected from the PTA on vodka. So after this, Yuri was like, listen, babe, you gotta stop. Like, I'm gonna stop supporting your addiction. You're not going to have access to our money anymore because I need you to stop drinking so much. So Irina is like, okay. And she begins borrowing money from neighbors and acquaintances, anyone who would lend her enough money to support her addiction. But mind you, she wasn't paying anyone back. So before long, everybody's like, listen, I'm not giving you another dime because you still owe me money from the last time I lent you some. And that's when she was like, you know what? I am going to get money one way or another. I just won't ask for help anymore. I won't ask for help, okay? And she crossed the line from which there would be no return. One day, she's helping an elderly woman cross the street with her shopping bags. Grateful for this young lady's kindness, the old woman invites Irina inside of her home. But the act of kindness from Irina was a trap. And once they were inside, Irina picked up a vase and struck the unsuspecting woman in the head. And as her victim lay there dying, Irina searched the house for money. After taking this woman's life, all she found was 20 pounds, which she stole. Now, I'm just gonna say that 20 pounds is equivalent to $20. I know it's not. But either way, 20 pounds is not worth a life at all. I mean, like, there's no amount of money that is, but like 20 pounds is like chump change. And that's how little another life was worth to Irina, where she's like, listen, I don't care how little it is. As long as I have enough to support my addiction, I'm going to take a life to steal their money so that way I can support my addiction. Yeah. So, tragically, that was just the beginning. Another one of Irina's earlier murders happened after an elderly woman hired her to paint the ceiling in her apartment. During a break, Irina went into the woman's bedroom and began searching through her drawers looking for money. When the woman catches her, she begins screaming like, what the heck are you doing? And Irina just like grabs the closest weapon to her, which happens to be a hammer, and repeatedly strikes the woman in the head. Like she beat this woman to death. And I don't know if she would have killed the woman if the woman didn't walk in on her, or if she was just planning on stealing and like leaving the woman alive. But either way, Irina's a monster. And now I see why she was nicknamed Satan in a skirt, because she is just like completely cold-blooded. So after that murder, she takes the woman's small amount of cash and calmly went to buy alcohol. Now she's like, you know what? This is it. This is my job. I don't need to actually have an employer. I just need to continue to act like I'm a caring, decent human being and earn money by killing the people who put their trust in me and stealing whatever amount of cash or rubles that they have in their possession. So that's what she did. And in case after case, she took the lives of vulnerable women for amounts that most people wouldn't even think twice about spending. In the first 6 months of her killing spree, Irina murdered 9 elderly women. She attacked each of them with the same horrifying method, striking them in the head with a hammer before ransacking their homes for cash. What's even more astonishing is that she made little effort to even cover up her tracks, often leaving behind fingerprints at the crime scene. Her murderous spree continued for another 8 years before she was finally stopped. And one of the biggest reasons she managed to evade capture for so long was because investigators were convinced that they were looking for a man. Just like in the Juana Barraza case, like they just knew, they were 100% sure that the criminals in these cases were men, because they both were like, listen, there's no way a woman would do this. Like, police officers, you guys gotta stop. Like, just, anyone could commit a crime, okay? So, as a result of them only looking for a man, Irina was free to walk the streets with a hammer tucked inside of her handbag, searching for vulnerable elderly women who lived alone. Just like Juana Barraza, she posed as a social worker to gain their trust and to persuade them to let her inside of their home. Once inside, she would attack with a hammer or an axe, repeatedly striking them before searching the house for whatever cash she could find. Irina's reign of terror finally began to unravel in 2010 when one of her intended victims, Bilbanur Moksheva, survived the attack. Bilbanur was able to tell police that the person who attacked her was a woman. And even though Bilbanur Moksheva went to the police with her story and was like, hey, I survived this serial killer, the authorities were like, no. It had to have been a man dressed as a woman. There's no way a woman would do this. Like, what? Like, she survived. She saw what Irina looks like. She knows for a fact that Irina is a woman and not a man dressed like a woman. But the authorities were like, no, everybody's deaths were too vicious for it to be a woman. It's not a woman. It's definitely a man dressed as a woman. So we'll put that out there and look for this person. And it was that assumption that cost investigators valuable time. In fact, one woman was actually arrested and confessed under pressure before police eventually uncovered who the real killer was after questioning more than 3,000 people. Yeah. Investigator Kirill Melenkov was quoted as saying, at some point, Gaidamochuk decided she would never be caught and started searching for victims among the people she knew. Her last victim hired her to make repairs. That's how we managed to find the killer. She also started leaving notes, such as, be home at 11. A social worker will visit. A simple handwriting test helped identify the murderer. Irina Gaidamochuk was finally arrested in June 2010 before she was sentenced 2 years later for the 17 murders and attempted murder of Bilbanur. Irina remains locked up, but it is possible that she will be released in 2032. Friends, the story of Irina Gaidamochuk is a sobering reminder that evil doesn't always look the way we expect it to. Sometimes it hides behind an ordinary face, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Cold-Blooded Serial. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow the podcast, leave a review, and share it with someone who enjoys hearing true crime stories. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.